Welcome, 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 welcome. Happy holidays, everybody. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Good to be with you. So tonight we're going to do something a little different. We're going to have a meditation and a satsang afterwards. I'm going to combine the two because we can't do satsang, or I'm not able to do satsang Christmas Eve. Okay. So I'd like to really welcome your heart into this space. And, during the holiday season, many of us travel home and we go back to be with our family and our parents or whoever. And a lot of times they just drive us nuts. They drive us bad. I've already had so many stories just this week from people who've, re-entered their family system and talked about the insanity of that. And, I'm going to challenge us all this holiday season for us to be the Buddhas, for us to be the sane ones, for us to be the adult in the room, the one who sees clearly. And of course, meditation is perfect training for this. Perfect training. Once upon a time, I saw this YouTube thumbnail. I don't even think I watched the video, but it's like how to be the most powerful man in the room. And, there's probably something for young guys, who are feeling insecure and wanting to connect to their power. But from a spiritual perspective, I like this. How can we be the most powerful being in the room? And it asks us to rise to the occasion and for us to use our power of choice to be the Buddha, to be the Christ, to be the one who is awake and aware and who can respond with love or compassion, truth, wisdom, when everyone else is being deluded. And so if you haven't already, please shut down your eyes. We're opening our hearts. We're arriving here fully. Breathing deeply and gently letting go. Letting go of the past. Letting go of that which no longer serves us. And I invite you to allow awareness to drop, to descend deep into the heart, to this point of Christ-like innocence, a Christ-like purity. So if you feel down right into the center of the heart, if you journey inward, almost like you're going to the back of the spine, if you begin just to feel here, you may notice a point of supreme innocence, supreme tenderness. And for some of you, there may be heaviness or denseness on top of this innocence. And I'm going to invite us all just to take a deep, full inhale. And with the exhale, just imagine, just like a broom, just sweeping away any heaviness, any denseness, anything which is untrue, false, old, sad, hurting, whatever it is. And again, we'll take a deep, full breath, deep, full inhale, breathing all the way down to the pelvic floor. And with a great exhale, just letting go and sweeping away. Sweeping away any old stagnant emotions or old stagnant karma. And feeling into this realm of purity, of innocence. As you continue to open, you'll notice there's this feeling of nobility here as well. What you are is good, is divine, is pure, is innocent and Christ-like. And so let's just take some time breathing deeply and fully into the belly, but allowing awareness to really become anchored in the space of the heart. Breathing in, I connect to the innocence and the purity, this Christ-like nature that I am. Breathing out, and let go any old, heavy, dense emotions or thoughts or feelings that veil this divinity. Breathing in, I recognize this gentle, tender purity of being. And for some of you, as you feel into the heart, it may feel almost like a real soft spot, a tenderness, almost feel like a dull ache for some of you. And again, we're just entering this world, beginning to explore the nature of the heart. And so as we continue to breathe, you may find your mind becoming quite empty, quite silent. This gentle love more fully coming online. May feel almost like a cool wind of radiance blowing through the space of the heart. The nervous system, the body, becoming more and more relaxed, at ease, and peaceful. can be helpful to let go more intentionally behind the eyes, the back of the skull, jaw, shoulders, behind the heart. Each exhale, surrendering more completely the abdomen, the base of the spine, the hips, the pelvis, the legs, the feet, arms, the hands. Just breathing in, working with this gentle mantra, I am the light. I am the light. I am the light. Feeling this gentle radiance waking up deep in the space of the heart. Awakening throughout the back body, the spine, overflowing the heart chakra to the throat chakra, space of the third eye, the crown, gentle recognition. I am the light. And we're waking up this absolute Christ-like purity that you are. I am the light. each and every breath. Breathe, feel, open. You recognize the direct experience, this radiance that you are. I am the light. Inviting this radiance to spill over, pouring into the solar plexus, the hara, root chakra, breathing, feeling, opening. Being the light. And for some of us, it can be helpful to let go more fully of some of our negative or heavy belief systems. So Divine Mother comes into the room. She's wanting us all to know that we're doing good work. We are walking the path in a noble and righteous way. Forward to the light. Forward to the light. That's how she cheers us on. Forward to the light. So it can be nice. It can be good. It can be healing to smile. Knowing, trusting we're on the right path. The Divine Mother is here and is approving, is encouraging of your efforts, of your work, especially this last year. And so please, drink from this cup. Positive encouragement, opening, opening, opening. Smiling and opening. Knowing that you are good. You are pure. You're on the path of the righteous. So taking some more deep, full breaths. And allowing her encouraging grace to more fully enter you and support you. Some of you still have on a subtle coat of armor. Let's take off that armor so that you can stand naked before the divine and fully receive this light, this love, this blessing. Just here for you this day. So opening the crown chakra more fully. Welcoming these winds of grace. They pour down from the Divine Mother, descending into the crown, the space of the mind. Beginning to flood the body with heavenly light, heavenly love. Reminding you you are a child, the Most High God. You are the child, the divine. Sometimes in this world, get beat up or run down. We forget We are made of a holy light. Our heart is not just a bag of emotions. Rather, our heart is a whole divine realm of love, of radiance, of bliss, of unity. Let us be reminded this immense light that you are. This heavenly light pours down through the crown, the mind, the throat, healing, opening, awakening, blessing, pouring down into the heart, overwhelming the heart with love. Inviting this grace to descend deeper and more fully, overwhelming the heart with love, with light, a heavenly peace. This grace descends, now blessing the third chakra center, flowing down into the space of the hara, down to the root, bringing forth wondrous light of love, all the way down through the central channel, pouring down the legs, the feet. Letting into the space of the earth. Just feeling these flows of heavenly light going down, blessing all 7 chakra centers, blessing the subtle energetic body, the physical body, and continuing to pour forth into the earth, blessing the earth. Reminding us what you are is divine. Reminding us this earth plane is divine. As this light intensifies, we're opening further still. So we are being a conduit of grace. Providing this immense light to shine throughout the entirety of our being, pouring into the earth, blessing the very fabric of the earth, blessing the collective consciousness of humanity. Further welcoming greater descent of grace, deepening the truth of your being. As this heavenly light intensifies, if there's anything you'd like to more fully surrender, place on the altar of transformation, now is the time. There's great support here for you. Great support and awakening. Most high aspects of your being. This light may begin to burn more with intensity. It's just wanting to take that which is no longer serving you. We actively participate in letting go. Riding this heavenly fire, burn up any darkness within us, any confusion, any pain, any mistrust, any doubt, any hatred, jealousy, envy, confusion, ignorance, all the things which do not serve us. We surrender. Making way for our purity, our light, our love, our strength to lead and guide us. Opening, opening, opening. Forever opening. This recognition that you are the inextinguishable light. Inextinguishable light. So bringing our palms to our hearts, gently bowing our heads. May all beings be filled with the highest love and light. May all beings reconnect to their innocence and their purity. May this earthly world be transformed with heavenly light and heavenly love. In the mountains, the trees, the streams, the rivers, the oceans, the deserts, the tundras, the jungles, the cities and the grasslands, may all life be blessed by this highest love, now and forevermore. Okay. So beautiful to be able to meet in this way. And I want you all to know that I feel so deeply honored to be able to share in this space with you, this light with you, this holy transmission. That's what a gift it is. What a gift it is. And so, I just feel called to share that with you all. And I feel so honored, and I have so much respect for each of you, showing up and sharing your hearts with me. I was reflecting, on what to speak about. And, often in this world, we live in such a busy time, a time when there's so much that comes at us. And our poor nervous system, we're not accustomed to living at this speed, to have so much intensity, so much engagement, so much media and information coming at us all the time. And sometimes it's just like driving in traffic. If we go back in history, just 100 years, we go back 1,000 years, that's just a drop in the history of humanity. But life was very slow, and we had tremendous time and space and silence, and that really supported us in a deeply spiritual way. But in this day and age, with so much coming at us, it's very easy to get upset, to get hurt, to get offended. It's very easy to, step into a guarded and defended posture toward life. From an egoic perspective, it makes great sense to armor up with everything that comes at us. But I'm inviting us actually to do the opposite, is to let go of our armor and to walk a path of love, a path of unity, a path of forgiveness. And it's so hard when we live in a world where our ego, our personality, our nervous system is just so overly stimulated. It just, like, with all this interaction, it kind of puts our nervous system in a state of fight or flight. But we show up each week to be reminded, to remember that we are spiritual beings. And as spiritual beings at this moment in history, our job is to shine light into darkness. Our job is to be the sane one in the room. The sane one. The clear one. The awake one. The noble one. And, to get there, oftentimes we have to be the forgiving one, the compassionate one. Because, again, it's just, we all see this, especially during the holidays. We see how crazy our family is, our family system. Sometimes it's just traveling through an airport. And, whenever I go through an airport, I always see at least one kid, like a 4-year-old, 3-year-old on a leash. And it's just like, what kind of crazy world is this? Like, who puts their kids on a leash? Like, who would do that? And, unfortunately, like, my father, like, when he was a little kid, his parents, they put him on a leash. It's like, it's just a crazy thing. And, his parents were just like raging alcoholics, totally lost in samsara. And his parents, they actually weren't even really his parents, biologically speaking. And like, there's just so many souls in this world who've incarnated and who are lost in some wild, dramatic dynamic in their mind and in their emotional nature. And we come into contact with it. And it's important when we do, we remain clear. We remain clear. And we choose to be open. Now, being open doesn't mean you need to receive, what they're selling. You need to receive what they're offering. But we choose to be open. Because when we're open, we see the full picture. We see the individual's divinity, and we see their karma. We see their suffering. We see their ignorance. When we are open, we catch our projections. If we're projecting fear on the world, or suspicion, or angst, or entitlement, or whatever it is, we see it. We see, oh yeah, I'm projecting my victim nature on the world. And this person, they're projecting their victim nature on me, or their narcissistic nature on me. And together, this can be a big hot mess. But if I choose to be awake, if I choose to be the Christ and respond with love and compassion and forgiveness, we walk away unscathed. We walk away unmuddied, unconfused. But if we engage with the world and the insanity of the world, well, this world has a place for us. It has a place for us. And, we can just join in the swamp of the world and be crazy with everyone else. In a sense, the spiritual path can be somewhat lonely at times. If I reflect on the life of Jesus, sure, he was quite lonely in one sense. Because he lived outside of the collective unconscious. He lived in the truth. But also, it's important to remember, when you are connected fully to God, to the divine, when this blazing light of grace is burning in you, if you're having an experience of being lonely in relationship to other human beings, it is certainly made up with overwhelming love and unity with the divine and all of life. And so it's a little bit of a paradox, because I don't want to sell you a story or a path where, we all just end up alone and isolated. But it can feel lonely in the sense that we're not joining in the playground of the lunatics here on planet Earth. We're on the playground of the divine. And like Christ taught, we see the kingdom of heaven here, all about the earth. We see the kingdom of heaven. We experience it. We live it. We find this kingdom of heaven within the very nature and the space, the love of our heart. We will not know this kingdom if we don't know about forgiveness. If we're not proficient with forgiveness. If we're not proficient with letting go. If we're not proficient in staying sane. And being on the path of the righteous. And so, I'm continually going to challenge us to be the light in this world, to be the Christ, to be the Buddha, to be the awakened one. That requires that we surrender any sense of being a victim. You cannot say, I am the Buddha and I am a victim. Those two, you can't hold those two truths, because one is a truth and one is a falsehood. You can't say, I am the Christ and I have hatred toward my neighbor, my father, my brother. You can acknowledge, I am the Christ, I am the Buddha, and these people hurt me. They hurt, my body, my psyche. But for us to truly embody our Buddha nature, we have to claim it. We have to identify with it. We have to step into it and say, this is my highest truth. As we started this meditation this evening, we started with this recognition. I am this innocence. And if you really begin to see this innocence, you see that this innocence has been here forever. This innocence is not a victim. This innocence is ever present. It hasn't been harmed. It has not been defiled. I was speaking with someone earlier, and they shared how someone had really, in a sense, like defiled their name, gossiped about them, and publicly humiliated them in a way. And at the end of the day, we have to ask, like, what do we believe in? Do we believe in our egoic mask, our personality, our name? Like our name can be defiled. Do we believe in that? Or do we experience directly that this light that I am cannot be defiled, cannot be harmed, cannot be damaged? To the degree that we have total faith in this is to the degree that we are awake. But to the degree that we believe in our egoic mask and identity as what we are, well, that's to the degree that we are asleep in a spiritual sense. So this great teaching that Jesus brought, he brought this teaching that I am the way. And it wasn't I, Jesus, is the way, and you must follow me. That's how it's taught, but that's not the truth. It's the I am. Like knowing what you are is the way. I am the light. I am this purity. I am the innocence. I am the love. I am immense compassion. I am spaciousness. I am clarity. I am Buddha nature is the way. This indestructible essence, I am. In the yogic traditions, they make it a little bit bigger. I am that I am. It's like I am that being the totality. In order for this to mean anything, to change our life, we have to claim it. We have to surrender fully into this recognition. I am the light. And so I show up as this brilliance. And when you show up as this brilliance in the world, you might confuse the people around you. Like sometimes my wife, she gets real frustrated with me. And she comes at me with like all these things that I did wrong. And, like they're fair complaints. So I want to be clear about that. But there's times when I just look at her while she's, laying it on heavy with me, telling me how wrong I am and this and that. And I don't respond with anything. I'm not defending myself. I'm not guarding myself. I just receive what she is saying. I stand here as the light and allowing my humanity to hear the feedback that it needs to hear. And she's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you thinking? Like, what's going on in there? And I'm like, sweetie, I'm just hearing you. And it's confusing to her if I don't argue back. It's confusing to the world if we don't argue back. it's confusing to the world when we respond with love to hatred or to violence or to insanity. Like often the outer world expects us to meet them in craziness. And it's, to me, it's a real funny thing. You know, when the world is really expecting something of you and you don't give them that. Like you don't give them that. You know, in a sense, you know, like when Jesus was, you know, facing his death, and Pontius Pilate kind of took him in this room and said, like, hey, let's have a little talk, Mr. Jesus. Can you just say, you know, can you just like lie? And so, you know, we don't have to hang you here, so get you off the hook. And Jesus did the most shocking thing. He's like, no, like I said, I'm the Son of God. I said I'm the Messiah. And Pontius Pilate was really confused. Like, it's like, come on, like, can you just lie, please? Like, join me and just lie. Like, and you can lie, I can lie, we can together lie, and we'll get you out of this mess. And often, like, that's what lying does. Lying is a form of camouflage. It helps us get out of messes sometimes. You know, someone was telling me this story where, I mean, basically, it's like any time in life when we see someone do something and then they lie about it, we know they're lying about it. It's almost hilarious, but it's so common. It's like, no, I didn't do that. I did something different. It's like, but I saw you. No, I didn't do that. I did something different, but I saw you. And our world is so accustomed to lying, to sneaking, to manipulating, to distorting the truth in every different way. You know, there were people, I can remember on the news did this thing a couple of years ago during COVID where there are these different preachers who like continue to have church like during COVID. And look, anyone can make a judgment on that, whether that's safe or sane or this or that, whatever. But the news anchors would often cheer, like almost be happy when whoever that preacher was, you know, who continued to have church, if they got really sick or if they died, you know, there was like some kind of like righteousness, like, haha, like they get what they deserve. And it's like, that's crazy. That is so insane. So insane for us to look at someone and maybe we have the judgment that they're doing something foolish, but then to be like happy that that person got sick, that they died because they were such a fool. It's like sometimes we get so carried away in our minds, in our thinking, in our, you know, political righteousness or whatever it is, and that we would applaud someone's death or applaud someone getting deathly ill and ending up in the hospital. And, you know, if we're deeply honest, we've all had some version of this where, you know, we're happy when, you know, we think justice has been served. But again, the great question is, you know, instead of cheering and being happy in someone's downfall, can we be the first to extend an olive branch? Can we be the first one to choose peace and forgiveness? If we find ourselves in a moment of insanity where we're engaging in an argument with someone in our family or whatever, can we be the first one who wakes up and says, forgive me, I've gotten carried away with my emotional nature. I'm sorry. I love you. It's okay. We can move on. Can we be the first one to put down that righteous political insanity, the thought that we know what is best for everyone on planet Earth? And can we open our hearts and come back to the truth? Come back to the truth. Stay in the truth. Live in the truth. Experience the glorious freedom of choosing to be sane. Choosing to be sane. Choosing to be sane. And for some of us, that means we need to surrender our righteousness. For others, it means, we need to surrender our attachment to being unworthy, or our attachment to being the victim, or our attachment to being less than. And so to surrender unworthiness or being a victim means, we have to acknowledge, like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not a victim. I'm a bright light. I'm a divine being. And to stand in our divinity, to have faith in our divinity, and to let go of that voice that holds us back. That voice that says you're a victim of life, when the truth is you're a child of God. You're waking up to the truth. So can we be the one who wakes up to the truth and stays awake? Stays awake. Let's not be the one who wakes up to the truth and then the next morning just chooses to be a victim. Like, we've all played that game enough. Or wake up to the truth and the next day we're going to get online and argue with the neighbors, our political neighbors. And you're wrong, you're bad, I'm right. And so anyways, if anyone has a question or something they want to share, please bring it forward. Somebody emailed a question. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Hi, Craig. Over the years, I've experienced a pretty continual third eye sensation, hard to explain, like an increased tension that feels more like activation than contraction. This is a very usual thing that I'm comfortable with. Recently, however, I have had a very obvious heat come into my third eye area. It feels like someone is holding a burner a few inches away from this area, and it feels to be coming from the outside, literally, onto my skin. My question is, do I allow it to do its thing without any or much interference? Or do I bring attention to that area in a meditative way, especially as this has happened in meditation? I was unsure whether to do my usual heart Tara practice and allow the third eye sensation to come and go as it wishes, or try to open to it. Thanks so much. Yeah. So when things like this come into my experience, I open to it. I often share, like, if Jesus is knocking on the door, Buddha knocks on the door, a bright light is knocking on the door, I'm going to go answer that door. I'm going to go open that door. Yeah, I'm going to go open that door. And I'm going to sit down and I'm going to have a cup of tea, with whatever energy is there. And, I'll say this, even though I've had incredible teachers on the spiritual path. The highest teacher is always God. And so if God is coming to you, the light is coming to you, the Divine Mother, if a burning brilliance is coming to you, that trumps everything. Like, I'm going to place my full attention there and I'm going to say, like, what is this? Like, God is obviously showing up in the form of light, a burning light in this case, in my consciousness. So I'm going to open to this. I'm going to open to this. And if I have a practice that says, okay, I'm supposed to be doing Vipassana meditation, but there's a brilliant light that comes here, I'm going to forget the Vipassana meditation. I'm going to focus on this brilliant light and I'm going to open to it. And I'm going to enter it as if it is a realm of divinity, because almost always it is a realm of divinity. And I'm going to get to know this realm and realize it until it becomes a permanent aspect of my nature. So when I look at this, I see, well, God is bringing a gift to me. God is obviously trying to show me something. Sometimes we think spiritual experiences are just like some kind of whimsical energy that's just coming here and there, or whatever. I don't need to pay attention to this. I'm just going to follow my breath. And that's great. You follow your breath all you want. But again, if there's a brilliant light that comes in the room, I'm going to open to this brilliant light. And I'm going to discover the truth of it. And see, like, sometimes these lights come and they're just here to transform. They're here to like cook and burn some, let's say like some negative or limiting belief systems out of the space of our mind. Sometimes it's just that. It's just a fire of transformation. But I don't want to say it's just that. Like, that's a big thing. That's a big deal. Like, God is coming and taking part in your spiritual path. I'm going to prostrate before that force. I'm going to give my life to it. I'm going to discover that truth. It's the very fabric of my consciousness. And the more we open in this way, then we have almost like I don't know what the right word is, like multi-layered, multi-tiered, multi-dimensional, different aspects of our consciousness that we can access at will. And we develop, a sense of energy mastery. And we're embodying the truth. We can call upon it if we need it. If we find ourselves like getting pulled into a realm of insanity, we can say, okay, boom, I'm coming back to that fiery light. I'm burning through, this chaotic bullshit that's trying to suck me in. And I'm staying in the truth. I'm staying in the truth. And I can stay in the truth because this light is the truth. My consciousness is this light. And so like the same thing goes like with strength or with love, or if we need to call forth forgiveness, if someone hurts us greatly and we need to forgive them or let go of something, the more we open to these realms of divinity and know them, and then we can harness their power and respond to life with a sense of mastery. Anyways, beautiful question. All right. Yeah, and it's, the holidays especially, winter especially, can really, send us into a tailspin and really, knock us down. I know a lot of people in the Sangha are spending the holidays alone. And, this world can beat us up in so many ways. So many ways. So many ways. And the thing that I've always done was when life is beating me up, I reach up to heaven more fully. I call out to God with a greater sense of fever, like divine fever. It's like, God, I need you to be here with me. I need you to hold me. I need you to love me. I need you to support me. And even though often my life circumstances didn't change much, the gift that I had was I felt this warm flow of grace pouring into me, giving me a sense of hope in times of darkness. And of course, with like right now, it is the solstice. And the solstice, like our days are so short, are so dark, and often so cold, depending on where you are on the planet. And this is very, very hard on our consciousness. As human beings, we are wired for the light. And we're wired to be in community. Our hearts are wired for harmony. Our hearts are wired for unity. Our minds are wired for emptiness. And sometimes we just circulate in different hell realms. And I invite us to have a sense of hope, a sense of faith, that if we find ourselves in a difficult place, that this hell realm will pass. It will end. It will end. But for many of us, it won't end until we are willing to be with it fully and completely. And most of us, we have this egoic disposition that when we're in hell, we want to run from hell. And by all means, it's wise to do anything you need to do to plug into support, plug into resources, plug into, anything that's uplifting, like coming to satsang or whatever it is. Please plug into this. Please plug into the divine. But there's this other practice. In fact, Aaron brought this practice up the other night. When things are really hard, can we just open and be the openness? Can we see the darkness fully and completely? Not through the lens of our mind, because when we look at darkness through the lens of our mind, or the lens of our emotional nature, it is crushing. But can we just open and be fully with what's here? Be with our experience. And often our personality self is wanting someone else to be here with us, do the work for us. But whether we have depression, anxiety, social anxiety, fear, heartache, despair, lunatics in our family system, whatever it is, can we be absolutely open-heartedly, fully present, fully present, fully awake, with the totality of this moment, the totality of our experience, and not turn away. This is the energy of the Christ. This is the energy of the Buddha. It's an absolute yes to what is. Even if what is hell in this moment. And this beautiful transformation begins to take place when we say yes from the depth of our being. We see that hell, our inner experience, our inner judgments, our inner assumptions, our nature that is aligned with being a victim, it begins to crumble. And we realize that we are the victorious light. We realize that we are the one without a second. We begin to realize, I am that. I am. I am that I am. And so I'm going to invite us to end this evening with, again, gently closing our eyes and shining our brilliance, this light that you are, shining it out to this world of darkness. May there be hope. May there be love. May truth, peace, compassion flood this earthly plane. May healing triumph. May the Most High love triumph. May the wars and the violence end. May the tortured souls be freed. May all beings without exception, be held in the highest and holiest light. May all beings know their true nature, their absolute beauty and divinity. May it be so. May it be so. May it be so. And so much love to each of you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. And I'll see y'all, I guess, next Wednesday. Good night, everyone. Bye for now. Much love.